Okay, for number 11, it says for numbers 11A through 11D, select true or false for the statement. So 11A says the area of face A is 8 square units. So this is A, and it is 2 by 4, so it is 8, so this is true. The area of face B is 10, so this is B and it's 2 by 5, so yes, that is true, it is 10. C says the area of face C is 8. This is C and it's 4 by 5, so that's false. 4 by 5 would be 20, not 8. And then D says the surface area of the prism is 56 square units. So now I'm going to have to find all of the faces and add them together. So this F would be 4 by 2, which is 8. C would be 4 by 5. 4 times 5 is 20. D would be 2 by 5, which is 10. And E would be 5 by 4, which is 20. And then I add all those up. So I have 20 plus 20 is 40. 10 plus 10, 20. 8 plus 8, 16. Because remember, there's 2 of each one that are the same measurements. So I got 76. So this would be false because it said 56. Okay, number 12. Stella received a package in the shape of a rectangular prism. The box has a length of 2.5 feet, a width of 1.5 feet, and a height of 4 feet. Stella wants to cover the box with wrapping paper. How much paper will she need? Explain how you found your answer. So this is a surface area problem. So my dimensions are 2.5 by 1.5 by 4, and I'm going to have to take and multiply, and remember there's going to be 2 of each of the, when I get an answer there's going to be 2 because there's going to be the top and the bottom, the left and the right that match. So this first one I'm going to go 2.5 times 1.5. I'm going to rewrite these. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves times 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 halves. And then that would be 15 fourths. And then remember I have 2 of those, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. So that'd be 30 fourths. Or I can cancel actually because this would have canceled. So that would be 15 halves. Okay, let's go to the next one. So then I have 1.5 times 4. 1.5 times 4 over 1, and then that would be 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 halves. This will also cancel. My greatest common factor is 2. 3 times 2 is 6, so it's 6 over 1. Then I have 2 of those because I have my volume. It's going to have, it's surface area, so there's 2 sides like that, so it's 12. So it's 12, so I'm going to do that. This is my other one. And then my last one that I haven't done yet would be 2.5 times 4. So it's going to be 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves. So it's going to be, this will cancel actually. So this would be 1, 2. 5 times 2 is 10 because I just canceled. And then, right? 5 times 2 is 10, yeah. And then I have 2 of those. So that would be 20. And then I have to add all of that up together. So I'm going to rewrite this as a mixed number. So 15 divided by 2 would be 7 times 2 is 14 with 1/2. So that I can add up my pieces. I hope I did this right. 20 plus 12 plus 7.5. So 39.5. Yeah, 39.5. They did it as a decimal in my book, but that's fine. So it would be 39.5, or you could write that 39.5 would be this, how much wrapping paper she would need, and it's square feet. Okay, part B, it says, can the box hold 16 cubic feet of packing peanuts? Explain how you know. So now this is a volume question. So now I'm going to do volume equals length times width times height. So that's 2.5 times 1.5 times 4. So this would be 5 halves. And then I'm going to cancel right here. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. This is 2. 5 times 3 is 15 times 2 is 30. And then 2 times 1, so that'll be that. And then this is improper, so I'm going to divide. So I get 15. And it says that it can hold 16 cubic feet, so that's not true. It can only hold 15 cubic feet. So it says the box can only hold 15 cubic feet. 15 cubic feet is less than 16 cubic feet, so it is not big enough to hold the 16 cubic feet of packing peanuts. Question 13. A box measures 6 units by a half unit by 2.5 units. For numbers 13a through 13b, select true or false for each statement. So it says the greatest number of cubes with a side length of a half unit that can be packed inside the box is 60. So for this one, I'm going to do the volume one first. So I'm actually going to do B before I do A. So it says on this one that the volume of the box is 7.5 cubic units. So to do volume, I'm going to do length times width times height. And so my length is 6, my width is half, and then my height is 2.5. So this is 6 over 1 times a half times 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And then I can cancel this. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then it will be 3 times 5 is 15 over 2 times 1 is 2. And then I'm going to just go 15 divided by 2, which would be 7 times 2 is 14 with 1 left over. So for part B, it says the volume of the box is 7.5 cubic units. That's true. So then up here for 13a, it says the greatest number of cubes with a side length of a half unit that can be packed inside the box is 60. So remember, I'm going to divide the 60 by 8, because remember that half unit, it was 8 of them in a cubic unit. So now I'm going to go 60 divided by 8, and that 7 times 8 is 56. And then 10 minus 6 is 4, so there's 4 8s left over, and 4 8s reduces to 1/2. So this would also be true because 7.5 is what our area was. So this is true. Okay, number 14. Number 14 says, Bella says the lateral area of the square pyramid is 1,224 inches squared. Do you agree or disagree with Bella? Use numbers and words to support your answer. If you disagree with Bella, find the correct answer. So this is a square pyramid, so I know that for my lateral faces, I'm going to have to use half times base times height. My base of my triangle is 18, and my height is 25. So half of 18 is 9, and then I'm going to go 25 times 9. And then I have 4 of those. So I get 900. So no, I don't agree with her because she said 1,224 for the lateral area. This is my lateral area. So I'm going to say no, I do not agree with her. The lateral area would be 900. So what she might have done is she might have found the entire surface area, but this was asking for the lateral. So she included the base. That might be what she did wrong. Okay, number 15. Lourdes is decorating a toy box for her sister. She will use self-adhesive paper to cover all of the exterior sides except for the bottom of the box. The toy box is 4 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 2 feet high. How many square feet of adhesive paper will she need to use, or will she use to cover the box? So this one is another surface area problem, but we're not going to cover it says there's one side we're not going to cover, except for the bottom. So we're not going to cover the bottom. So the box is, I'm just going to draw it like this. It's 4 feet long and 3 feet wide. And then the height, this height is going to be 2 feet high. Okay, so if I'm not covering the bottom, then there's a 4 by 3 that I'm only going to count one time. So 4 times 3, because the bottom would be 4 feet by 3 feet, right? So that's 12. Okay, then this side would be 3 by 2. 3 times 2 is 6, and I have 2 of those. So that's 12. And then this last is 4 by 2, which is 8, and I have 2 of those. So 16, and so then I'm going to add all this up, 12, 12, and 16. So I got 40 square feet. You just remember, you only count the bottom once because she's not covering it. So you do the top, not the bottom. Okay, number 16. Gary wants to build a shed shaped like a rectangular prism in his backyard. He goes to the store and looks at several different options. The table shows the dimensions and volumes of 4 different sheds. Use the formula volume equals length times width times height to complete the table. So this one I'm missing the length. So if I go 10 times 8, that's 80. And then I have to divide this 960 by that to get my missing piece. So that would be 1. That would be 12. So this one will be 12 feet. This next one, it's the same thing. I'm missing one of my dimensions over here. So if I go 18 times 10, I get 180. And then I would go 2,160 divided by the 180, because I have 180 so far. So that would be 1. Bring down my 0, 360 divided by 80, 180. So it's going to be 12. This next one, it's going to be 12 times 4 is 48. And then I'm going to go 288 divided by 48. So then 48 will go into 288. What is it, 6 times? 6 times 8, 48. Yep. So this will be 6. And then this last one, I just have to multiply all these together. So 10 times 12 is 120, times 10 again is 1,200. Okay, number 17. Tina cut open a cube-shaped microwave box to see the net. How many square faces does this box have? So we know that a cube has 6 square faces. That one's very easy. Okay, number 18. Charles is painting a treasure box in the shape of a rectangular prism. Which nets can be used to represent Charles's treasure box? Mark all that apply. So on this one, you have to visualize folding it up. And you have to say, would this fold into a rectangular prism? So remember, this is the one that I've been showing you. So we know right away that A is correct. We know that this net will fold. So I'm going to mark yes, A will work. For sure. That's our example one that we use. Okay, so let's look at B. B will also work because this would be the top, then this would be the back, then this would be the bottom, this would be one side, and this would be one side. So B would work. C will not work. The reason is when I fold this up, this will be like the top, and then this will be the other side, and this will be the bottom, but these two sides will overlap, and then you'll have an opening on this side. So this will not fold up. This one will not work either, because if I fold this on this line right here, it's going to be flat. There's not going to be 3 dimensions to it. It's not going to be a solid figure, so do not mark that one. It will not fold.